Good morning. How are we on this fine whatever day it is, wherever. What day is it? Ah. It's Tuesday for you over in most of the world, but not here, not in Chad, Australia. What's the happenings? What's been going on in the news? I'm sure that my insight will be incredibly useful and valuable, because I have so much to say that's so worthwhile. I feel like I should be figuring out different games to play. It's always Halo every time. I do really enjoy playing Halo 3, but still. I'm not streaming Soma. I'll be playing that for myself. I started playing a game called Backbone last night. It's like a pixel art detective game. And as I was playing it, it just reminded me, oh yeah, I do enjoy playing games on my own a lot of the time. I think it's pretty neat so far. I've only played it for a couple hours. Cool art style, cool music, cool world. Interesting characters. Yeah, it's neat. It's on Game Pass as well, so that's super convenient. I just showed my girlfriend a Casper and she thought it was basically a dinosaur. Well, I guess it is, right? It's a bird. So I kind of counts. Played Doom Eternal? Yeah, I played most of it. I never finished it, though. Backbone? Yeah, it's called Backbone. The main character is a raccoon detective. Hey, Fringy, how goes the grind? Oh, you know. Getting a little bit of work done before I started. There'll be a new video coming your way soonish. Good old-fashioned Fringy polemic. A good distraction from the endgame video. Maybe you could do another campaign. I'm thinking about it. The problem is I'm not sure if I want to start that yet, because the plan was endgame, then Halo. And I don't know if I want to start doing playthroughs of the campaigns for 1 through 3 yet. So I guess the only other one would be Reach. Which I guess is an option, but I'm not sure. The microtransactions one? Yep. That's the one. It's gone through all of the revisions. Oh, the game's just tabbed out. There we are. Lasso reached. You could do Halo 4. No. I refuse to do that. I don't want to play Halo 4 again. That's great to hear. Can't wait to check it out. Yeah, I hope people like it. Still plenty of work to do, but compared to the endgame video, you'll play it for EFAP though, won't you? I mean, maybe, but like, in terms of my priorities, like, I'll be playing it whenever I need to play it for my video. If we do play it on EFAP, that's cool, but like, I need to play it whenever I get around to making that video. I'd imagine the endgame vid will be a long man. Well, that's why it's so intimidating. I mean, it's already like 40 pages. I think that's combined with, or might actually be not including notes, actually. I think it's, and that's like that script is incomplete in a sense. Like, the first draft is done, but, I tend to underwrite rather than overwrite. I tend to put in too little, and then it needs to be expanded. Which seems to be the opposite of most people. Most people seem to overwrite and then they have to cut stuff down. I kind of wish I had that problem. Feels like a good problem to have. Completeness, incompleteness. No, it's just not good. It's just not good. The first draft never is. The second draft never is. Third draft is when it starts to get into okay territory. Redrafting. That's super important if you're ever, like, doing anything that has to do with writing, including if you're writing, like, essays for university or something. Redrafts. You just gotta redraft, keep over and over and over again. Go through the whole thing, think about what sentences you've used and what words you've used, rewrite it, just keep doing it over and over and over again. And eventually you'll have something that isn't awful. I wish I could, like, remind myself of this when I'm working on, like, a book. I write the first draft and I hate it. It's like, yep, you will. It's okay. Just push through it, grind and get it out. The second draft is usually painful as well, but after that it starts to get better. Do you write in Word or something like OneNote? I use Word. I've always used Word. Microsoft got their talons into me early when it comes to just PC and their ecosystem. They're sweet. I had to train myself to redraft. Every school I've gone to has given me an A or a 90+% for every first draft I've handed in. Oh, maybe you just really knew what you were talking about. that might well be the possibility. I found that there is never any detriment to going over something that you've written again. There's no detriment to it. Have you tried Days Gone on PC? It's optimized. I don't really want to play that game. Kind of looks like just generic third-person action adventure with stealth elements zombie game. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Not too shabby. Frogo was stuck on Windows, but you said you like penguins so much. Yeah, I know I said I like penguins. I think the only Linux thing I've ever used is Ubuntu, and briefly, and I didn't like it as much as using Windows. I am a Windows guy. Oh, progress report in the endgame video. God, I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet. First draft is done, and that's about it. And I do wonder if I need to rewatch the film now. Because the progress has just been slower. That's all I would say. The progress has been slower on the endgame video. But I made a lot of progress on the comic. Page number 5 is nearly done. Which means I'm actually making pretty good time on the comic. Because, I basically told myself I needed a bit of lead time to make sure that I don't fall behind. on it, so yeah, doing alright so far. I mean, it means page 5 will be done before page 2 goes up for public, so I'll still be ahead by, like, 3 pages. You should let Brown Table or Hightop review your script before recording. They're pretty good at it. Well, one of the things you notice is, just the amount of scripts that have these weird sentences that don't make sense. Rick Sanchez is in Fortnite now. Oh, man. Fortnite is just an amalgamation of everything in pop culture. Epic has money. They have a lot of money. I figured that out when I was doing my research. The amount of money Fortnite used to make. It's unreal how much money Fortnite made. Why isn't that killing him? I don't know why that's not killing him, but... Fortnite's just shitty Oasis, and even that was shitty. Yeah, basically just... Fortnite's basically everything I hate. It is a really cynical thing. It's just... It's art, because all, you know, creative work is art, but like, goddamn. I can safely say that I bought Fortnite and played the campaign before the Battle Royale. I remember before the Battle Royale came out, I was tempted to do that. It looked fun, but I don't really play a lot of co-op games. I remember I played the Battle Royale when it first came out. I remember how unfavorably it was being compared to PUBG. And then it just totally took over PUBG really quickly. So yeah, I played it before it was cool. But, like, unironically. Are you interested in streaming any of the Nier games? I have the Automata. I didn't play much of it. I remember, I think that was when my, my last PC, that was close to when my last PC was on its, like, dying breaths. I remember that thing got hot, that computer did. I was just completely unaware of how hot the, I think I had the, crap. I think I had it was a Radeon, card. I think it was the 270, 280, 290, I can't remember which one. It was one that, yeah, was incredibly hot, and I just wasn't aware of heat management or anything at the time. So yeah, there are, you know, the PC gaming isn't super complicated, but there are things worth, well... That's old? Yeah, that was back in, like, 2015 when I got it. I mean, I am not even remotely up to date on what's happening now with, like, graphics cards. And I imagine that if I needed to upgrade, it would be exceedingly expensive, given the... not only the crypto stuff, but also just the shortage of, microprocessors. That was something I learned about recently. God damn. There just aren't any. Have you played Remnant for the Ashes? No. I believe I've heard of it, but I can't. That.
No.
Oh, thanks for subscribing, man. Much appreciate. Oh, resubscribing. Thanks. AMD is trying to put their own DLSS in cards, including some NVIDIA cards. Huh. Oh yeah, I figured out how to do the bomb now, by the way. For those of you who didn't watch my ODST playthrough, which is up now on Cosmoronic. There are PC parts, just not access ones for the public to buy. Yeah, but I mean, compared to what the prices were before, they've become quite expensive. Because I know that there's the shortage because of crypto mining, right? Like, a lot of cryptos, you need to use graphics cards, like, in a lot of them, to mine. Damn it. I just delivered them a Banshee, damn it. Both Mauler and Metal played Remnant. Mauler said he was going to do a co-op run with Metal and he never did. Ah. You get Ninja Gaiden collection coming out? No. Trying to be a lot more selective about... I don't buy a lot of games new anymore. I don't really need to. The Xbox Game Pass, Humble Bundle combined, it's like, that's a good amount of video games right there. How often do you upgrade your PC? Well, I recently... my hard drive failed, so I had to get a SSD, so now I've got a 2TB SSD that my games boot off of. That's why everything's loading so much faster, if you may have noticed. But otherwise, no. I think I had to replace the RAM in this one. The RAM was faulty. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, faulty for a while, so I had to do that. But otherwise, I haven't made any, like, significant upgrades to the computer. It's just been maintenance, fixing it up, making sure that it runs nice and good. But they're not new games. Game Pass is new games. Like that game Backbone, it came out today. And I got it on Game Pass. $37 if I wanted to pay for it, but if I pay like, what, $10 a month, I can get it for nothing. I'll be able to do the same for like Halo Infinite, all the Microsoft games, and a bunch of non-Microsoft games. Like I remember Wasteland 3 was free, Metro Exodus, and Humble. It's not that long of a wait for a lot of games. Nom's made a convincing video on Game Pass. Noms, sorry, I'm not. But as for, yeah, it's worth buying if I think it's totally worth it, and it will be especially Bethesda games too. There's that. Muller was on the Real BBC earlier today. I think he's still on there actually. Look at all those people using the inferior playstyle of controller. Yeah, it's a lot of Xbox players on here. Ignore the second part. Can you jump on your BBC? I don't understand what that means. Oh. Right, okay. Yeah, I got it now. Apparently Moon Knight and Punisher are going to find some MCU show. I don't believe any of the rumors anymore at this stage. There's so many rumors just out there because there's no content and just people are desperate to find any information on any of the upcoming stuff. I think people are going to be incredibly disappointed with, and, you know, they're going to be disappointed for the wrong reasons because it won't be the caped person that they wanted to see, right? Whereas I'm just going to be disappointed with just, you know, bad content, probably. But I mean, the things that people are expecting, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and all these shows, it's pretty insane. These expectations are out of control. I'm a normie who's Moon Knight. So Moon Knight's I always forget his name. I read a couple of Moon Knight comics. He seems cool. He's basically like a, sort of vigilante who I think is a guy who's, like, merged with, an ancient Egyptian, god. He wears a big old white cape and, yeah, and has, like, multiple personality disorder. Moon Knight's cool. He's really cool. And Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight, which is cool. So, like, Moon Knight, I'm kind of looking forward to that. That could be really neat. But it's always framed through a certain... it's funny. I think this conversation was happening on Metal Stream yesterday. About Battlefield 6, which I think at this point it's all but confirmed it's going to be Battlefield 2042. And there was like a leaked screenshot that showed weather and stuff, like dynamic weather, and Rags, who is also a fan of Battlefield, and I were just like talking about all of the cool things that they could do, and we were starting to get ourselves sort of optimistic. It's like, wait a minute, calm down, like this is like, don't do that, that's stupid. The Loki writer wrote a Rick and Morty episode, gives me a bit of hope. Yeah, so the She-Hulk writer, she worked on Rick and Morty. I mean, that's something, but like, and also he's writing Doctor Strange. But again, this is Marvel. I don't know how much the writers themselves, I don't know. I'm not sure. So the problem is I think Loki will almost certainly not be good just because of the time travel and multiple universes thing that it's doing. It will have a cool style, I imagine. I'm sure Tom Hiddleston will be really great in that role. But those are kind of the things that you expect from just a big budget production at this point. It doesn't really mean anything without, you know, the writing. Do you think that any of the Marvel Knights will come back to the MCU? Luke Cage, Daredevil, Cox's Daredevil, Punisher. I think that the one that has the best chance of coming back is Charlie Cox. I think Daredevil was... The reality is that none of the other shows or, like, characters were as well received as Daredevil. He was the one that was the most well received. The most popular. Of course, I want him back. Well, it's always framed through a certain lens. I just want a sense of legitimacy to be lended to the Daredevil content. That's all I want. I want that character, Charlie Cox's interpretation of that character, to be lended a level of legitimacy within the MCU. If that means he shows up once and he never shows up again, that's totally fine, as long as there's like an acknowledgement of, oh, his story is like canon to this universe. That's kind of all I need. As for him staying in long term, it's always... I guess a Daredevil movie or something would be, like, one of the least likely things to be bad, just by virtue of the fact that he's a very ground-level character, and a lot of the issues with, MCU content right now are derived from its massive stakes and interconnectedness with the universe. Daredevil is small-scale enough that he can kind of escape a lot of that. And so, yeah, you've just pointed out, right? But do you really want Daredevil in the MCU? Are you sure about that? It's like, I'm not sure about that. I just want him to have a sense of legitimacy. That's kind of all I want. And there are a lot of rumors that he's going to show up, and I don't want to get my hopes up, because there's rumors that he'll be in Spider-Man. There's been tons of rumors about that. And there have been rumors that he'll be in She-Hulk, which makes more sense, because Jennifer Walters is a lawyer as well. But, like, I don't know. I'm sure Charlie Cox would... I don't know, I just want to see that character again. I am biased, though, because, like, Daredevil was my boy.
Gain the lead.
Spider-Man team-up would be nice. That'd be cool. I don't know if that would ever happen, though. Surprise, buddy. I want to see more Punisher, but that won't happen. It probably won't happen. I would abandon hope on that one. Like, basically all of the other people, maybe Jessica Jones, she might be okay. Maybe Luke Cage. That one feels a lot more iffy. But Iron Fist, no way. Punisher, I don't know that we're ever gonna see him again. Are you gonna watch What If? Yeah, I mean, I guess I ought to, right? It's Marvel content. It's kind of worth covering. I don't know. Thoughts on show and telling stories? Do you think that books as a medium have it easier than film and TV since, in this regard, since you have direct access to a character through their feelings in the book? I actually don't really think that, because in a film you can just show things. So it's actually easier to showing in books is hard because, like, you gotta be careful with the perspective that's being offered. If it's first person, it can be really easy to slip into tell. Because the character will just say how they're feeling and their observations. Third person's a little bit different, but, show don't tell is... I don't know, yeah, show don't tell feels like it's easier in films because you can just show a look. Whereas in a book, you kind of have to describe a look and try not to impose any, judgments on that look or that gesture. You gotta be careful. Rip Iron Fist, it's all about Shang-Chi now. Yeah, probably, it seems that way. Like, they wouldn't want to have Iron Fist, because, you know. Two highly skilled martial artists working together sounds awesome. Yeah, it does, but it's not gonna happen. I doubt it anyway. Gotcha. There's plenty of third person that isn't omniscient as well. Yeah, no, I'm saying that it's in like a visual medium, it's more clear what show don't tell means as opposed to in a novel. Are you winning, son? I think I am. Maybe not for long, though. Damn it. Spawn me right into bullet fire, why don't you? Thanks. Sometimes this game, man. Come on. Come on. In books, the shows create a mental image to the reader. Yeah, but remember, like, if anything creeps in about perspective, then it starts to get a bit grey. And, like, the narrator's perspective as well, or the perspective of the character. Because, of course, you can still show, by having a character tell, you know, like, depending on what a character says about something, that can tell you something, or the way that they said it, for sure. It's complicated. I think the problem is show don't tell is actually quite difficult. Like, everybody says it's a really simple thing, but it's not. I don't think it's simple at all. I think it's one of the most difficult aspects of telling a story, is finding that balance between communicating things subtly and communicating things overtly. Characters won't often express their insecurities to other people, but if you have access to their thoughts and feelings, you could convey those insecurities easier. Well, it depends. Yeah, it is. It might be easier, but you might be telling if you do that. You gotta be careful. Hey, Moodle. Who would you cast for Fantastic Four? I don't care. Like, I don't have preferences for casting most of the time. I think I saw Victoria Pedritti's name put up for, like, Sue Storm. That could be cool. Just because I want to see her in more stuff. I know the problem. There's too many. I don't know. There's too many choices. Like I'm not really sure what I would narrow it down to. I think I've seen people propose. I always mispronounce his first name. Giancarlo Esposito for like Doctor Doom. I'd be on board with that. That's a lie. I said tomorrow and it was 3 AM for me when I said it. Ah, I see what you did there. Actors have also surprised me too many times for me to have an opinion on casting. Absolutely. It's just the general consensus is John Krasinski for Mr. Fantastic and Emily Blunt for Invisible Woman. I know that's been going around, but I'm pretty sure she shot it down and said that she's just not interested at all. I think John Krasinski said he'd be on board with it. But again, I don't know where that arises from or why anybody would have any preference one way or another, you know? Like if somebody said, "Oh, who would you have wanted for Captain Marvel?" It's like I don't know. Like I don't know that it matters that much. Marvel tends to get competent actors. Like that, they've never really had a problem with getting good actors. That's kind of the intro. I don't know if they know how to pick them. They just do. Compared to DC, that's for sure. Like DC doesn't know how to pick them for the most part. Like Marvel have typically not had issues. But you look at DC, it's like Gal Gadot. What was going on with that choice? Ezra Miller as the Flash is one that confuses me as well. And, you know, a lot of the casting choices that Warner Brothers have been stuck with were the consequence of, like, Snyder. Which is interesting to think about, because it looks like going forward they're actually doing better without those decisions. Like, the Batman cast looks really great. Looks like a really good cast. Zachary Levi seems to be a good choice for Shazam. Like, he's sort of fun in that role. What about Henry Cavill as Superman? Yeah, that's a good choice. He's underutilized. Like I said, it was for the most part, right? Because Ben Affleck kind of impressed everybody. I think he did a great job. That's the problem, though. It's just crappy material. You're doing the best you can with really bad material. But I mean, you look at those choices, and that's fine. That's cool. But you compare it to Marvel, where they didn't miss ever on any of their major characters. Robert Downey Jr., perfect. Chris Evans, great. Chris Hemsworth, incredibly funny comedic actor. Scarlett Johansson, amazing actress. Mark Ruffalo was also a good actor. I guess Edward Norton probably would have fought harder for Hulk as a character. But still good, you know. Knives Out 2 looks like it has a good cast. Does that mean it'll be good? Well, the thing with... he's just got access to all these incredible cast. It's unfair, you know. Like it's just not fair, considering that the material itself is not, well. We don't know about Knives Out 2, but like it's probably going to have a lot of the same problems that the first one had. But that first movie had an insane cast as well. Gal Gadot looks the part. Well, I remember when she first got cast, people said she didn't look the part. It's just retroactively it's changed. Kind of how it is for, like, Tony Stark. You kind of just picture Robert Downey Jr. Though, again, I could picture plenty of different people as Wonder Woman. That's kind of the thing. I mean, you could do better with her. You could have done better with, like, that character. But I don't know if you could have done better with Gal Gadot. She's not a good actress. I still don't think she looks the part. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I think people just say that now. But, like, when she got cast, people said she didn't look the part. And again, they've retroactively changed it to, like, orient it around her. There was no reason to assume that Wonder Woman would have, like, an obscure accent. She never has. Yeah, she's just hot. That's all there is to it. But it's not a good reason to be making these casting choices. And I mean, this, you know, it's Amber Heard, Zemara, it's the same issue. She's not a very good actress either. These are just bad decisions, and I don't. Yeah, the material, and yeah, the material sucks, but like, there's a level to where the material sucks, and you can still try to do the best you can. Versus, like, it's just totally, like, regardless of whether the material sucks, the performance isn't there to support it. She has a superpower of speaking any language, but she also has a super thick accent. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't she look the part? So, like, I'm not sure what to tell you, like, Wonder Woman looks a certain way. And typically has. Like, I know she was part of the military, but that doesn't really mean anything. You can still be in the military and not look the part of somebody in the military. And it's not a military character, it's a superhero. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, Gina Carano probably is closer to fitting the bill. Or like Ronda Rousey, or like incredibly athletic, but like sort of, you know, bulkier. You would expect anyway. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't. That's the least of my. That's the least of my. Oh, is it Rousey? I don't know. It's spelt like Ruda. Whatever. That's the least. I don't really care what people look like. That's like kind of the least of my concerns when it comes to just, you know, casting people. And she just can't act. She can't. And then, and again, it's like, well, you compare it to the MCU. It's like the writing sucks, but the cast are great. Like in WandaVision, yeah, Wanda's been destroyed, but Elizabeth Olsen is a great actress. Scarlett Johansson's a great actress. Brie Larson is a good actress. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that one, but she is. Happy Duke Nukem 10th anniversary. Yeah. Don't make Ronda Rousey act. I was just saying, like, that kind of look, I guess. I know that she played Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 11. It's not good. Brie can be good, but it seems it's going to her head. I don't think that's... I just think she's awkward in interviews. I think that's all there is to it. She's just awkward in interviews. No, I know that the performance in Mortal Kombat 11 is really bad. I know it is. I was just trying to soften it a bit. Can hang out for a bit? Sure, let me get you in here. What up?
Hello.
You told people you were streaming today.
I did not. It's on stream. I said tomorrow. I'm totally not using it as an out. Leave me alone. Thank God now I can ask Coom questions.
Yeah.
Metal Dwarf enough.
I do like Brie Larson as an actress, especially in Room, but the source material in Captain Marvel doesn't help with how she performed in the movie. Well, so the problem is that this character just sucks at the moment. I'm not really sure what you could do to fix it. The character is devoid of, man, because when I think about that movie, it's like, I don't know what people can look at in Captain Marvel and be like, ah, see, she does this, or she believes in that. She believes in good. It's like, but for what reason? It's like, because she does. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing underlying. I think that's you know, you can have characters be good, and then it's just, like, incredibly boring, and you can have characters who aren't so good, and it's just more interesting and honestly a little more sympathetic, because you can at least understand where they're coming from. She is good because it's good to do good. It's not an informed, interesting perspective on what it means to do good. Conversely, like, we know that Captain America, he don't like bullies. It's like, why doesn't he like bullies? It's like, well, he was bullied. He sees what it's like. He wants to fight for the little guy, and he's concerned about individuals, and that's a perspective that we see reinforced throughout the movies. So it's like, yeah, he believes in doing good, but there's actual reasons for it beyond just, it's good to do good things. Hear me out, Jessica McNamee, Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat as Captain Marvel. I mean, yeah, but I got nothing again, because it's just like, well, I don't know, the material isn't that great. She's Australian, actually. I'm pretty sure most of the cast in that movie is Australian. Especially, well, obviously Kano was. Remember the conversation between Punisher and Daredevil? Yeah, I remember that scene. It's a great scene. Love that scene. Yeah, what do you do, huh? What do? You beat up the criminal, they all go to jail, everyone called you a hero, right? And then a month, a week, a day later, they're back on the streets doing the same goddamn thing.
Dude, do you see that Luke is getting his own suit?
Yeah, I did, because somebody spoiled it for me on Twitter.
Yes.
Asshole. Nah, I'm just kidding. So, that was a spoiler, because I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Yeah. I don't think it happened yet as well. So
no, I think it's the season finale, right?
Yeah.
Because this season only has 16 episodes.
If it looks like this, it looks so much better than...
It looks better than the Batwoman suit, yeah. I miss scenes like those. Well, it's scenes where people get to talk and actually explain their point of view. It's a great scene. And it's on theme because it's like, you know, it's an important part of the Daredevil-Punisher dynamic. Daredevil believes that people deserve, like, chances to redeem themselves. Even if it means that they just keep doing bad things again and again, because it's just kind of makes sense, because it's a Catholic, it's like somewhat intrinsic to his beliefs about the world. Punisher's just more pragmatic. He believes that they're going to do bad again, so kill them, and then they're not a problem anymore. And there's something to talk about for both of those guys in terms of why they believe that and just how informed their perspective is. It's good stuff, and it's, you know, that's why I like Daredevil so much, even though I know it's got problems. I'm sure if I rewatched it, I'd notice a decent amount of problems, but, like, I just really like that show and what it's about. I always thought an actress called Abby Cornish would have been Captain Marvel. I know who she is. She's also Australian. She is super pretty.
Abby Cornish.
She was in Sucker Punch, the Snyder movie.
Aww.
What's with all the Australians? You'd be surprised how many Australians there are just showing up in movies and stuff. I tend to find it a lot easier to recognize because a lot of the time the accent just creeps through a little bit. Like, you just know what to look for. My other Captain Marvel suggestion, also Australian. Yeah, we got a lot of blondes in Australia. I don't know what this guy's doing. Okay, you know what? No. Yeah, I think he's quit out of the game. Hollywood still gets people to do fake Australian accents. Yeah, well. Yeah. Yeah. She's very pretty. I don't know if it's something in the water, but I think that, Australian women. I have a hard time distinguishing Aussie accents from British accents. It's really easy for me. It's really easy. Fuck. You all sound like tea drinkers to me. Yeah, well, I don't know, all Americans sound like, I don't know, Americans to me. I can't tell the difference between a New Yorker and I don't know, a Texan. Fuck.
You missed.
Might be because of filming New Zealand, Lord of the Rings filming in New Zealand boosted the industry there. What, in reference to Australian actors? No, it's just... I'm not sure what it's... I don't know. It's just, I'm guessing it might just be a product of the fact that we're more globalizing now, you know? People don't really stay in the same place as much.
Just been reminded there's gonna be Knives Out 2.
Yeah, yep. You're all filthy Englanders to me. No matter if you're from the UK, US, or Oz. Also, high freaking metal. Yeah, I mean, I guess...
I'm not from any of those.
That's right.
Countries.
You're not an Englander.
Englando.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a Valley Girl sounds like. They don't sound like the rest of us. I mean, you say that, but like 50 million people live in California. It's like 1/5 of Americans sound like that. And that's, you know, that's as though... That's almost with the implication that, like, people who don't live on all of the West Coast don't sound like that, which is an even bigger portion. Or just that a lot of people sound like that. The thank you, that really annoying shit. Because... Aren't all Australians just prisoners from the British Isles? Oh, thanks for resubscribing, my dude. A lot of us were prisoners, but, I mean, there were people who, you know, came to form actual colonies. Fringy could definitely tell the difference between a New Englander and a Texan. I was being sarcastic. I know that they sound different. I know that they sound very different. There is a variety of accents in America. Whereas in Australia, there really isn't much of a variety at all. Most people sound the same, no matter where you go. There's only very minor differences in the way that people speak here. We just don't... God damn it. We just don't have enough history. We haven't been around for long enough for a bunch of different accents to appear. That's basically all there is to it. We're just not old enough. Come on, buddy. I want you to do it. I want you to hit me. Come on. Ah, no, he's flying away. You think Wings of Redemption sounds like Rags? Rags... I think Rags has a very refined southern accent, you know? Like, you can hear little bits of it coming through, but it's a very clean-sounding... A very clean-sounding accent. He speaks very well. Not to imply that, like, people from the South don't speak well, which is kind of what I implied by saying it like that, but, you get the idea. I'm not digging any hole. Southern accent, you know, it's an interesting one. Oh, wow, half our team's gone. I love it, it's great. Damn it. Don't pick a fight with the South. You guys lost to birds. Yeah, and you guys lost. Like, I don't know if we're talking about people who lost wars. Texas beat Mexico. Yes, that's true. Southerners at least lost to people, Australians lost to birds. Have you seen emus?
Not recently, no.
Texas is 1-0. Texas was part of the Confederacy, right? Or was it made a state after that happened, after the war? I get confused sometimes. I mix up my... Yeah, you were. Yeah. Yeah. So your kill death ratio is 1. Which is not bad, but you know, not great, not terrible. Yeah. The South lasted significantly longer than they should have. They should have lost almost immediately, having been economically crippled, but Lee was a hell of a general. I hear that a lot, that he was a really good general. But that your boy Ulysses S. Grant was just a little bit better, I guess. He seems like a super interesting figure. I still need to read his autobiography. Or his memoirs, rather. Did you hear about Vorsh dodging that appearance on the Adam and Sid show? Yeah, I heard about that. Apparently he was saying, like, they'd be too scared to debate him, and so they said that he could hop on, and then he didn't come on. Which is really... yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's...
It's fantastic. I love shit like this. You cowards! You don't even want to do this. Like, okay, what?
Well, I think that's the problem. Is like, I think Vorsh is a little, you know, compared to like someone like Destiny, who will kind of more or less talk to like anyone. Vorsh is more tactical, with his appearances and who he talks to, which is frustrating because when that happens, it almost feels like you're not engaging on a like a level, honest playing field. I don't know. Yeah. Again, that video that we watched was really, that was not a good one. Like that was a serious blow to his reputation for me.
Yes, this is metal. Hello, it's me.
Yes, it is metal here. Ulysses S. Grant's life went downhill after the Civil War. Yeah, I know about that, because he became president. There was a lot of corruption in his administration. He was an alcoholic. But at least he got to write his book, you know, and that got around. It's always...
I should watch all... I should watch these political YouTubers. I feel like I'm missing out some funny
stuff.
stuff.
Oh man, no, you're not. It's not fun. Watching political YouTube is like painful. Most of it sucks. There's only a handful of people I like listening to, and otherwise it's... I find that like so many people are really bad at their job because they just can't like stick to their lane. They can't. You know, it's like, I will talk about every political issue, even though I have 0 qualifications to talk about really any issue at all.
Yeah.
Who do you like, Fringy? You'd probably be able to figure it out based on, like, the names that come up occasionally. It's few. That would be the big takeaway. Oh, crap. It's not a whole lot. I'm not sure how much I want to say, because the problem is that, like, depending on what you say about your political labels and stuff, people start to put you in a box. I find it better if that's not something I have to even deal with at all. Of people trying to dismiss my arguments immediately by boxing me into a position. Or not a position, but like a label. Because I think it's kind of a twofold issue, is like, depending on the identity that you pick for yourself, that may well inform all of the positions that you take. So for instance, if you say like, oh, well, I'm a socialist or something, it's like, well, your perspectives on basically any political issue are probably going to be determined not based on a fundamental principle, but you're more likely to be coerced by what you see other people saying about that issue. And similarly, if you're like, I'm a conservative, it's like, well, what does that mean? And what does that mean in terms of like the principles that you have? And in terms of those principles, can I figure out like what you actually believe in consistently, or is it just going to be based on what other people say? You know, like it's what other conservatives say. And similarly, if you label yourself as a conservative, you get bunched in with like conservative takes, and you label yourself as a socialist, you get bunched in with them. And it's better to just sort of, I think it's just better to not do that. Don't identify with a label, just try and figure out your fundamental beliefs. And clipped. I'm not even sure what that's phrasing. Is there a phrasing issue in there? Not many people apply their labels so prescriptively. I don't agree. I think there are a lot of people who do. I don't think people intentionally do it prescriptively, but I think a lot of people... Nah, I'm a socialist. You become a carbon copy of whatever political commentator looks the smartest or coolest. I think the problem is that there's a lot of like in-group, out-group, and a lot of people find value in the identity that they selected for themselves politically. I think that a lot of people, it's like politics isn't really... I think for a lot of people, politics doesn't really matter. Like, politics is just a fashion statement or a cool little identity that you have. But it doesn't matter to you because politics doesn't really affect you. Because, you know, if you're like middle class, well, if you're middle class, politics affects you, but like the higher up you go, the less politics kind of affects you. If you're poor, the political landscape is significantly important because it has a huge influence on your life. But if you're, like, wealthy, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You're kind of, like, not living in the same world as everybody else. And, I don't know, you just get that impression that a lot of people who are, like, hyper-engaged with the political landscape, it's a hobby for them. It's fun. They like arguing about it and being part of it, whereas most people don't like politics. Politics is just a necessary... Jeff Bezos totally cares about politics. Yeah, what I mean to say is that, like, if you're super rich, then yeah, you probably do care a lot about politics. But if you're, like, you know, just normal 10-20% echelon rich, like, a lot of what happens in terms of policy is not going to substantially affect your life. Or not in a way that would be, like, catastrophic, right? So, like, a change to the tax, you know, the tax system's probably not going to destroy you. A change to, like, the medical system probably isn't going to destroy you. A change to transportation or education probably isn't going to destroy you. Because you have, like, enough income that you can mitigate any of the unforeseen consequences of, like, a certain leader or something. But if you're poor, it's just a lot harder to maneuver to political change. That's the reason why it's like, for poor people, it's not just politics, it's their life. Whereas if you're like, I don't know, like you grew up in a gated community, you just, I don't know, it's just not the same. Do you watch other media channels on YouTube? Most aren't good, but RLM and others I find entertaining. So, I mean, I watch YMS. His like, YMS reviews are really great. They're a big, sort of... Oh, is this SWAT? Is this SWAT? Huh. Oh, I think this is SWAT. I was wondering why everybody was dying so quickly. Yeah, it's SWAT. George Washington had full control over his army after the war ended. He had all the powers in Congress. What does he do? Give up that power to the people and retires to Mount Vernon. Until, of course, he got voted for unanimously and decided to unretire as president. Yeah, George Washington's a cool dude. I feel like that's putting it too simply.
I'm getting my first vaccine shot tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh boy, which one are you getting?
Astra.
Ah, that's the one that most people are getting here as well.
Well, it's no chance for me to get any other ones, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. it's, you know, they decide it for you. See, you guys are clearly moving faster than I am, because, like, I don't see myself getting the vaccine for a long time. We are just well behind on the vaccination phase.
I'm lucky.
Oh, you're lucky?
I was lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get it, like, in the next weeks, months even, because I'm not a prioritized group at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just send emails to doctors.
Young male.
Can I register? I just want to be on a list so that you can call me whenever there's something free.
Yeah.
And like 2 days later, they mailed me back. So, or they called me back. It's like, yeah, you're on the list. And then after the weekend, yeah, this Monday, we're like, yeah, we have a you can come on Wednesday. It's like, oh,
that's
sweet.
great. See, for me, it's not even in sight. They're just not even looking at people who are under the age of 50, I think, or maybe 40 or 50. So I'm just not. I would be surprised if I got vaccinated this year, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Which is kind of not great. Well, I might actually, because I have asthma, so that might get me in a bit earlier.
I think they would put you in priority group 3 here in Germany.
Right.
I think.
Well, I mean, you guys are rolling out faster than we are because it's that good old-fashioned German efficiency, right? Well, I guess not then.
Not all the people in the priority groups are vaccinated yet, but still they were like,
right.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna lift the restriction for a priority, so it's like a free fall now. And the doctors get like 35 doses a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like so little.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
so many
that's why I didn't even expect to get anything.
America surprisingly on top of it. Yeah,
yes.
I guess it's Biden, you know.
UK and US, they turn around.
UK did it very quickly. They were super fast. As for Australia,
they fucked up in the beginning though. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, but they've sort of recovered.
Hard, and then they just went crazy. Germany was like the other way around. We had like nothing in the beginning, and then the government didn't do anything to prepare for like a second wave, which was obviously coming. And then it's like, oh shit, lockdown, stay at home, basic rights don't matter anymore, fuck you. It's like, oh, okay. As
for the question of why is it taking so long for such a small population, the answer is easy. Our government is incompetent. Like, that's the answer to that question. Our government is astoundingly incompetent. They have been throughout the whole COVID crisis. The only reason that they've managed to get off the hook is because Australia just has so many natural advantages compared to other countries. We don't share a land border with anybody. We're on the other side of the world. Our population is incredibly sparse for the most part. We had so many, and we only have like 6 states, 2 territories that each handled their own stuff individually. There's a lot of reasons why Australia has done well, and it has very little to do with the federal government.
I'm guessing if there was anything, it's like incredibly localized.
Yeah, that's because Melbourne's just had stuff, and theirs has been super localized. That's just the nature of it. It's I'm surprised you have it, Fringy. You have a very boisterous voice. I didn't know that asthma made it hard to speak.
My area, you just walk into a pharmacy or doctor's office and they just ask you if you want a vaccine. Dude, that's a dream.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. We have like vaccine centers. So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna register there because I checked the doctors where I moved to now, and every one of them either didn't take any registrations or they said, oh, we'll only give you a thing when you were already with us for like different things, like if you're in our database.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here, living here for like about a year-ish now. Never went to a doctor because why would I? Like I was at home all year. It's like, oh, well, great. Where do I sign up then? It's like, oh, just get to the center, I guess. Look at their website. No, we're not taking any more registrations until X, Y, Z. I don't even remember. It's June, July, I don't know.
Oh,
I was like, oh, great. So what am I going to do? So I basically just sent emails to my hometown doctors.
And just said, hey, please, give me the jab, please.
Yeah, because at least they didn't say anything that you're not allowed to at least send an email to register. So I sent like emails to like 4 doctors over there, and 2 of them sent me emails back. And
Sweet.
now I have a Datenheimers, Appointmentheimers.
What do you think?
It's,
Huh? Oh, just a question. What do you think? What do you think of internet historians' idea to build a massive river system through the heart of Australia so people can eventually populate? So people can populate more areas. I guess my question is that like a legitimate thing that could actually work, or is that just a meme? Because if that actually worked, then there might be reason to do that, because the center of this country is basically empty. It's all the coast. That's where everybody lives. And if there was more green land, that could be really good.
I was thinking about why I got an appointment there, but now I think about it, it kind of makes sense. Because the hometown I grew up in, it's like a lot of old people that live there.
Yeah.
So most of them probably are already vaccinated.
Right.
So it's probably like the big bulk of people are already done. Now that I think about it. Huh. Anyway.
It would have to be replenished by rainfall. Yeah, I mean, I imagine the idea would be that the river system would change the weather. Are there bad things in the middle of Australia? Well, I mean, that's where all the dingoes are, but, like, as for, like, most stuff, it's just a desert, so it's actually not too bad at all compared to the more grassy areas where snakes and stuff are. There are snakes in the desert, too, so I guess there's that, but, like, you're probably not going to get ambushed in the middle of Australia. The middle of Australia is where the outback is. Yeah, it's just a giant desert. That's most of this country is a desert. Ah, crap. I've been asked 3 times since I got my vaccine shot. I can't believe how easy it is over here. Yeah, I don't know. You guys are just more on top of it than... Again, we have a really incompetent federal government. Astoundingly so. Fuck's sake. Spawn me onto grenades, thank you very much. Yeah.
I saw it.
Bullshit. Good bullshit.
You spawn, just see the thing fly in front
Yeah.
of your face, like, ah, okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I accidentally betrayed a teammate.
Trey.
Come on. Damn it. Not to get too political, but the current government has been great. Are you in America? Yeah, it seems that way.
So jealous everyone got money in America. I didn't get any money.
Well, so it's funny. America basically copied Rudd's stimulus. So Kevin Rudd was our prime minister during the GFC, and he did the stimulus where he gave everybody like $900 to basically, the idea was they're gonna spend it, re-stimulate the economy, or reinvigorate the economy, and it worked. We didn't go into a recession. It was a great idea. Everybody else copied our system. America copied ours this time around. We didn't use our own system. We instead gave the payments to the companies to then give to people. I don't know why we had this extra layer of bureaucracy, but we did. And that was an incredibly inefficient and stupid way of doing it. Because we have a stupid shit government right now. We didn't get any direct stimulus checks. Oh, wait, no, sorry. We got... So, people had to go to... Oh, yeah, it was worse. That's right. Because people had to go to Centrelink, which is our, like, welfare thing. They had to, like, apply for Centrelink, and then through Centrelink they could get payments on a recurring basis. But, like, that just makes it a lot harder for people, because you have to wait. Like, Centrelink is very slow. Very, very slow. Like... It's, and it's over now. It's just gone. It's done. Like,
We
yeah,
tried. Bye.
then Centrelink crashed. That's right, they did, because they're not equipped to deal with that much. And yeah, that was on top of personal payments, so that was good. That was something.
Lost the lead.
I was super interested what the long-term effects of this whole COVID shit is gonna be. There's gonna be so much more shit happening.
I think one of the long-term effects is that the wealth divide has increased.
Yes.
'Cause
Yeah.
The stock market has bounced back to where it was before, but like the actual economy itself hasn't. There's still
That's
more
interesting.
unemployment than there was. Well, it's just they're not the same. Like the stock market and the economy
Yeah.
are not the same thing. And of course, you know, people who are wealthier tend to have more of their wealth in the stock market. And so that's one of the big things is the stock market's recovered. But like the actual economy itself hasn't, so there's more of a disparity there. And more of a disparity there translates to more of a disparity in, you know, wealth equality. And I mean, one of the big ones here was that people were allowed to take money out of their superannuation, which we've talked about on stream before. And if you take that money out, it significantly hurts your long-term, like, that's a lot of future money that's gone from compounding. And inflation's coming probably, so yeah. I'm not sure what the consequences of that will be. We'll see. I remember that talk that my freedom guy was. Yeah, that was a conversation. One I don't want to repeat.
Slayer. Gained the lead.
Oh my god, miss every shot. Yep.
Tied the leader. Lost the lead.
Give me that back, damn it. Give me that. Oh, shit. Damn it. The sounds. Fringy, what are your thoughts on the big twist in Prestige? Is it a problem that there was no way for the viewer to see the twist coming? There are ways to see it coming. There's heaps of evidence. Because Prestige is amazing. It's a great twist. That movie is fantastic. I don't want to spoil it though.
Just in my ankles. Well, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm actually getting sleepy, which is quite a twist for my life.
Yeah.
At this time of the day.
God damn. Alright.
So I probably will be awake until 3 a.m. So
Alright, yeah, but on
that's just how it works.
the twatters.
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll catch you around.
See you, dude.
Bye.
And then we were down to 1 again. What do you think about milk? I've been slowly liking it less and less over the years, and it starts tasting worse before the expiration date. I like milk. God, dual SMGs. Thoughts on Halo Infinite? I don't know. Like, I don't... Oh, yeah, man, the second question about Halo Infinite. Judgment Day and Halo Infinite is coming. You excited to see more of your franchises burn? You know, we'll see what comes of it. We need to see a lot. We need to see some goddamn multiplayer as well. I got a lot riding on that reveal whenever it's coming up. I guess right now I'm just looking to the Battlefield reveal, Battlefield 2042. Which seems like all but certain that that's what the game is. Why dubious sanity and not just free? It all makes sense eventually, alright? I've been saying that for like a year, but it will. I also have like a fringy Twitch channel. It was my old one. Where I believe all of the streams are automatically hosted on there anyway, so... It foreshadows the twist where Fringy goes insane. I'll neither confirm nor deny that. They've said it will be multiplayer focused, about 10 minutes long. What, like at E3 or...? Because, I mean, the Microsoft's, like, E3's soon. In fact, it's quite soon. It's kind of snuck up on us. E3 stream. Yeah, I think I want to. The problem is I'm trying... It's gonna totally destroy my sleep schedule. Like, it just does not line up in a way that is convenient for me. In order to do, like, the streams for all of it, I kind of need to... fuck, and there might be copyright issues as well for, like, streams. I don't want to have to deal with that. Part of it as well is I don't... E3, I don't... Shit, like, I don't... You know, I'm really disinterested. Why don't you link your Twitch to Discord? I never thought about that, and I don't even know how to do it. I'll figure it out later, because that's... Inject caffeine to yourself. I'm sure that won't make my heart explode. Bring it to Fapper now, he needs to sleep. Well, I mean, it's, you know, it's funny, because, like, a lot of what we do now is talk about movies, but, like, video games is still, like, that's my jam, or at least it always has been. Feels really weird, because I've been so out of the loop on what's happening in the gaming industry lately. Like, writing this video was kind of me going, oh shit, like, the industry has changed so much, and I just haven't been paying attention to it at all. You know, just how the business model has changed and everything, it's, yeah.
Game over.
I feel like the reason it's going to be MP focused is because multiplayer is easier than campaign, arguably. I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason why is because I've already shown campaign and we've seen no multiplayer. I think that's a much more reasonable explanation. And you're saying they don't have that much done? Like, I feel like you're just absolutely wrong. That game was meant to come out last year. And you know, it probably wasn't going to make it last year, but I would imagine that that game is basically done, and that what they're doing right now is polish. If you have a PS5, and if yes, would you do a video on Ratchet and Clank? I don't have a PS5. I probably would have, maybe, if I did, but I mean, I don't have much of an interest in getting one. I feel like they don't have much campaign done. I guess my question to you is, like, how much campaign do you think that is ready to go right now? Like, what you've said baffles me, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think you're just completely wrong. Like, and that there's actually no reason for you to say that they don't have that much done. I am concerned that we haven't seen much, but that's not because I don't think that they have stuff done. It's because I think that what they have done isn't that great. That's my concern, not that it isn't done. This game's been in development for like 6 years. And I mean, yeah, they spent time, you know, working on the engine, but like that game is it's coming out this year. There is a campaign in it. And I imagine that it's been fully developed from beginning to end, that we're just up to, like, polish time now. I'd be oh, fucking hell, SWAT with silenced pistols. Does anyone know how to get Twitch to let you know when streamers are streaming? I have all the notifications on, but they don't notify me. Do you get an email or, like, a ping on your phone? I don't know. I'm not sure. What they showed last year seemed very unpolished. Oh, it was, but like, unpolished doesn't mean that the content doesn't exist. It just means it's not super polished yet. The E3 is certainly multiplayer. The art for it is entirely multiplayer. Spartans showing off new color and armor and color mutations. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I want to see what the multiplayer looks like. Fuck, SWAT's so stupid. What the... What? Now, what was going on there? Thoughts on Far Cry 6? I don't know, it's Far Cry, you know? It's whatever. Have you seen YMS's video on Kimber and Lion King? Yeah, I have. It's a really good video. I don't see why they would have to make it free if the game's coming out on on Game Pass. Well, what about people who don't have Game Pass? I think it's just, it's more of the thing that I'm going to be talking about in my video. Free to play, like that is a model that makes you a hell of a lot more money. It's better to get, like, it's preferable to have, like, 10 million, your numbers are actually a lot higher than that. It is preferable to have a game that has 50 million people. If 50 million people are playing for, like, free, or 45 million are playing for free. God, I can't get the words out. It is preferable, as a developer, or a publisher rather, to have a game that's free to play, that has 50 million people playing it, if 5 million of those people are paying, than it is to sell a game to 10 million people. And that's because the people who are paying are going to spend more than 60 bucks in total. And that you got a high profit margin on that too, because it's all digital. That's just the nature of it. Like Apex Legends and stuff like that. Fortnite, these games make tons of money compared to single player games that sell for retail prices. Oh. Oh, my Twitch went floopy there for a second. My Hopefully it's all running fine. I think it was just Chrome. Article saying Ubisoft's working on PvP games. Well, I said free to play, but yeah, it's one of the things that prompted me to make that video. It's just, it's over. Like, microtransactions are here to stay. The business models have changed. The best you can hope for is just some single player games, but more ethical free to play games. That's all. That's the best you can expect in terms of, you know, live service stuff. It's never going away. Indie games will rise, Fringy. Well, I mean, they already have, but, like, you know, compared to the money that developers, you know, publishers will be making from AAA, you know, free-to-play, single, you know, multiplayer stuff, that's a lot of money that's being made there. Again, EA made $5.5 billion last year. Most of that was from DLC microtransactions. An entire generation only knows spending money in games. It's done. Yeah, it's over. It's done. Like, it's the model now. It's too good, from a profit perspective. What if Crash got smashed, and do you think he deserves to get in? That'd be cool.
Slayer.
I remember when you could unlock cool things in games without paying or playing for 7,000 hours. Yeah. Like, I'm okay with, like, that's kind of why, as you'll see in the video, it's kind of the big point is just, you can push for more ethical microtransactions. Like, the model isn't completely screwed. It's just really easy to manipulate to make more money. Give me that grip. Fuck. That was stupid. Have you heard of a movie coming out called Reminiscence? Stars Hugh Jackman. Yeah, I saw a trailer for it. I don't know. I don't know. I got nothing really for that. It could be cool. Oh! Damn it. If I can buy a skin I want for a reasonable price, I would retain my urge to vomit, but loot boxes are several steps too far. Yeah, I don't like loot boxes, but I don't even like battle passes. I think that's a really shitty system to pay for the privilege of unlocking stuff. And the whole point is to get you to keep playing. And because the more that you play, The more that you play that game, the more immersed you'll be in the ecosystem, the more likely you are to not only buy the microtransactions, but also encourage your friends to do it too, because you're spending all your time playing the game. So you want your friends to play with you. I think Battle Passes are worse. It's tough because they're both bad in different ways. The reason why loot boxes are bad is because it's gambling. It is. You just gotta hope that you get what you want. It's gambling. Whereas with Battle Passes, it's just fear of missing out married with the sunk cost fallacy. I don't think anyone debates loot boxes are gambling. Well, I mean, from a legal perspective, I think it's still debated because there's, you know, the implications are different. Because if it's gambling, then it's like, well, kids can't buy into those systems anymore, but kids buying into the systems is like a big part of the model. Or just people who are financially irresponsible. That's a big part of it. Because that's how the system works. They know most people are going to play for free, that's totally fine, or not engage with the system. Though I do wonder if it's true that most people don't, given the numbers, but they're counting on a few people to get super addicted and just spend lots of money. That's what they're counting on. Anything that involves chance and money is the basics of gambling. Well, see, their thing that gets them out of it, off the hook, is the idea of, well, you always get something, so it's not gambling, because you always win. And of course, all of these assets are ultimately of equal value to each other because they're digital. They don't have any real-world value. And there is no free market to accurately judge the value of these products, so that's where it becomes more complicated. Now, of course, we recognize that this isn't true. That there is a difference between the value of these assets, at least in the eyes of the people who buy them, and that you're more likely than not to get something that you don't really want. But that's not necessarily good enough to make the case that it is gambling in the same way that a slot machine is gambling, where you can roll and just lose and not get anything. Value exists where people choose it to exist. Yeah, I mean, I know that. I mean, I get that for sure. Obviously, it's like basics of economics, right? But it's the idea that whatever asset you own, like, the price of that is determined by the in-game economy, which is basically set by the developer. A legendary item is worth more because it is legendary. It's a prescriptive... It's prescriptive. It is. Well, as somebody who knows an ex-gambler, the main hook is after you try first, it's more of a quest to get your money back, or better yet, an actual profit. Yeah, it's sunk cost fallacy. You've already put in so much money, so you might as well continue, which is a terrible way to approach anything in life. It's a really bad way to govern your decisions. Because that money's already lost. So you can't recover it. Like, the money's already gone. Something is as valuable as you want it to be, except when someone else is setting the value. I mean, that's the genius of the system. The gun is worth more because the developer said it's legendary, not because it's an aesthetic that's particularly valuable to you. I remember, I think it was that Steam thing, that Valve GDC, the one in the Chromecap video. You like it because it's rare, not because it's an aesthetic that you personally appreciate. It's like, yeah, that's the gist of the system. Because, and then there was a video, I don't even care what it looks like, that's a knife. It's like, this is a fucked economy. I don't even care about what it looks like, said about a product that is entirely based on what it looks like. Like, that's all that the value is of it. It's dopamine. That's all it is. It's just dopamine. You open that box, all the flashing lights. Oh, purple, that means it's good. Yay! That's basically just how the system works. Legendary weapons tend to give more bonuses. Oh, that's even worse then. Like, we've transcended into the really bad ones.
Slayer.
Because if you can pay to change the gameplay, the game is compromised. There should be no game-changing microtransactions. But I'm pretty sure that's what FIFA Ultimate Team is, right? Like, the microtransactions just directly affect the game. That's why it makes so much money. Again, I'm pretty sure FIFA Ultimate Team made more money than all of the direct sales of EA's games combined in that year. It's done. It's done. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, look at how stupid EA is. God of War sold 6 million copies. That totally shows EA, who are making like $1 billion off of a stupid microtransaction model. Well, it's not stupid. It's genius. It's brilliant, like, from a business perspective.
Lost the lead.
Are you aware of Phantom Lord, former League of Legends streamer that shifted to CSGO gambling streams and eventually caught rigging a betting marketplace? Well, I just remember that I remember the CSGO lotto thing, whereas like T. Martin said, I found this website, when what he should have said is, I founded this website, because he fucking made it. And I'm pretty sure the reason why they didn't get in trouble is just because the laws weren't there yet. Like, the laws weren't there to, man. It's really... Yeah. FIFA pros have to buy packs too. Even the competitive scene was compromised by whales. Man. Speaking of dopamine, imagine if they made a Mandalorian free-to-play game where loot boxes play the seismic charge sound with Luke turning on his green lightsaber in the background. Oh yeah. It's slot machines. It is. It's flashing lights, loud noises, punchy sounds. Whereas, and it's funny, because dopamine's always been a big part of, like, the most successful games. There's a reason why Call of Duty is successful. And I think a big aspect of it was when you shoot people, the hit marker, tunk, 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 like every time you hit something. That's a satisfying sound to hear. No other game really did that. I mean, of course, there are other elements, right? 60 FPS, really straightforward, simple game. Easy to get into. Well, I'm not, on terms of, you know, why they didn't get convicted of anything, I'm not super familiar with the case. I just remember that it was, that ethically it was damning, but legally it's different subjects altogether. I saw somebody ask, like, do you think people will be upset when they look back on their life and how much money they've spent on microtransactions? I mean, I wonder about a lot of, like, broader existential crises that are, or crises that are about to come up just from what's happening right now. I'm really glad that I got to grow up in a gaming world where this wasn't such a prevalent thing. You know, basically since the PS3 and 360, that's when it became a thing, more so. So I still got a couple of generations of good old-fashioned I have with League of Legends. Well, I mean, you know, I have bought microtransactions. Not a lot, compared to, it seems like, the average, but I bought microtransactions in Overwatch. That was a terrible decision. That was stupid. I just wanted that Mercy Witch skin. Like, that's it. I wasted a lot of money. I don't really regret all the money I've spent on League. I mean, again, it's like, you know, you find value wherever. I think League of Legends makes a bit more sense to me because, at the very least, you can see the skins that you're wearing. Like, getting skins for characters in Overwatch is stupid, or just like any first-person shooter when you think about it. You can't even see yourself while you play. The only time you see it is in loading screens or when you're dead. So, kind of like in real life with fashion. It's just people want to outwardly express themselves and get validation. I think that's like the core. That's the core of what's being exploited with like microtransactions for skins. People want to stand out and look special to people they don't know. And you know, people would be like, that's ridiculous. It's like, well, it's fucking common. Like, it's a human thing. It's a very human thing. Yeah, fashion is about social hierarchy. There is an element of that, and it's the same in video game. Look at my skin. This is a legendary skin. Aren't you impressed by me? And maybe you would be if it was something you unlocked, but it's something you buy, so... Or that you were lucky enough to get, which might even be even worse. Don't diss fashion. At least normal people. Fashion, a good suit can be life-changing. I'm not really dissing it. It's more just that... What is it? Like, you just outward... I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't... I don't want to get into that. Also, holy shit, DC making an animated film about Justice League pets. Yeah, I heard about that. Dwayne Johnson is playing Crypto, right? The dog. Is it possible to determine the objective quality of a piece of music in the same way it's possible for a film? Music's hard. It's hard. You can say with like 99% certainty that people will like certain melodies and arrangements, but it's hard. Music is complicated. Because music theory is just one aspect. Like, music theory is pretty Western, and so there'll be different types of, like, music theory depending on, you know, what... Yeah, it's complicated. I'm not equipped to really answer that question either. Ha ha ha! Sorry, buddy. EA's Battlefront 2 microtransactions are the best in modern AAA games. You can earn credits to buy in-game skins, you can buy those skins. Yeah, it sounds like it's a better system for what's the meaning of life. Whatever you want it to be, buddy. Because there is no meaning. Just to, you know, just to piss on the bonfire a little bit. Crap. I think most people would agree that, for example, a symphony by Mozart is superior to whatever drivel Cardi B put out most recently, but I can't necessarily explain one. Who is Cardi B? I don't know anything about, like, the modern music scene. I'm just totally divorced from it. Who is that? I hear that name, but I don't know who that is. Lame answer would have gone with Return to Monkey. Hey man, if you want to return to Monkey, that's totally fine. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest, that's all. Do we have a top anticipated games list for E3? I mean, if Metroid Prime 4, that's probably the one that I would be most keen to learn about, but I'm skeptical. I guess Breath of the Wild, the sequel, so a lot of Nintendo stuff. Whatever the new Mario game is going to be, because surely there's a new Mario game coming out soon, right? I'm super excited to see what Nintendo has to share. I'll say that much, but as for the rest of the industry, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. I want a new Star Fox. Ah, that could be happening. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know what Nintendo's doing at the moment. That's the thing. Why is your icon an astronaut, not your plague mask? That is the logo for Dubious Sanity. But Fringy, as my plague doctor thing, it'll all make sense eventually, alright? Let's see if he doesn't notice us. Hiya! I think the newest artist I've heard is Frank Sinatra. But I ain't exactly new. Before we get finished, we'll make the town roar. We'll hit a few late spots and hit a few more. We'll wind up this nexus and maybe... I forget the lyric there. Life is gonna be a wah-wah-wee. Do-do-do. For my shadow and me. Sound something like that. If I had $1 for every time you said that, oh, stop asking then. Like, it'll all make sense eventually. That's all I got for you. Oh, no, I want a plasma pistol. Do you think they'll put multiplayer in Metroid Prime 4? I don't really care if they do or not, but it could be cool. I don't see that there'd be a problem with it as long as the single player still gets the same amount of attention. I want a Disney animated communist Russian movie with fun musicals from Star. Oh, that could be cool as a story. Have you tried Blender or Unreal? I heard you wanted to dip into game development a bit, or maybe I'm wrong. I definitely want to do it at some stage. It's just the problem is, it's like right now it can't be a priority. I need to focus on other projects right now. And I mean, if I did, I'd probably just because I have a license for Game Maker Studio 2, so that'd probably be. And it seems like that's the easiest one to learn about. So that'd probably be what I'd do it in. Who's your favorite video game soundtrack composer? Marty O'Donnell. What's Fringy's favorite video game soundtrack? I tend to say Halo 3. If I had to pick one, Halo 3 probably. Or the broader just Halo, Marty O'Donnell, Halo score. That's kind of like my favorite. If I had to pick one that wasn't Halo, might be Super Mario Galaxy. Fringy, did you see on Twitter a few days ago that Marty might leave the game industry? Yeah, I saw that. I did. It seems like there's issues with Bungie, legal issues or something. So that sucks. They're making us pay for online, so I thought they'd do more games on Switch. Well, I mean, Splatoon 3, right? That's coming out this year. Or next year, I think. Is it coming out next year? That's like their big multiplayer thing, I imagine. It probably is worthwhile for them to do it, but I guess, I don't know if they do, because they did multiplayer for Metroid Prime 2. I mean, you can make it work. Might be worthwhile to have a first-person. Thing is, Metroid's never really been a first-person shooter. Like, Metroid Prime, I mean. KI has my favorite video game soundtrack. KI's really good. That was Mick Gordon as well, before he did Doom. You could tell it was him. Jack Wall did a really good job with the Cold War music. Yeah, that lobby music is awesome. I really liked it, even though I haven't played Black Ops Cold War, that lobby music is pretty fantastic. Halo Wars 1 soundtrack is underrated? A little bit. I think it's a bit more generic than the Bungie scores, but still, yeah, I like it. There are a couple of tracks in there that are cool. How would you feel if Metroid Prime 4 still had tank controls? Would you want it to go to more traditional FPS controls where you control the camera with the right stick? I mean, it has to be that. Like, that, it has to be that. They can't do the old one. They need to do it like that. And plus, it's on Switch, so it would have to be. They can't do tank controls, I don't think. It needs to be twin stick. I think that would be the big thing I would say, is like, Metroid Prime 4, yeah, exploration, super important, but like, really put like, some work into updating the combat. I think that'd be a good idea. Make it so that the action is super, you know, tense and exciting. Maybe take a cue from Doom. Because, you know, I love the Metroid Prime games. The combat is not all that involved. It's fun, but it's not super involved. Have you ever played Star Wars Republic Commando? I think you'd like it. No, I haven't played it. I think I've got it on my wish list on Steam. I'll grab it eventually. It does look like I'd really enjoy it. I watched Mandalore's review on it. And probably, I'm pretty sure Actman did a review on it too, which I would have watched. Fuck. KO is such a good new, such a good, way new franchise for Microsoft to play with. Huge problem is fighting games are insanely hard to make, right? And I don't know who can make it. Amazon owns the 2013 studio. Yeah, I'm surprised that they're not doing more with it. They should just, like, release a brand new Killer Instinct game. What are your favorite Jackie Chan films? It's been too long since I've watched them, so it'd be hard for me to say. That could be fun, rewatching a bunch of the old Jackie Chan movies. Super hot take, Metroid Prime, Super hot Prime take 2 is the worst. That's not a hot take at all. A lot of people think 2 is the worst. Nobody thinks 1 is the worst. That would be the hot take. And it would be the wrong take. I remember you talking about Far From Home soundtrack, and I gotta say I really like it. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, they do a lot of neat stuff. Spider-Man's theme, lots of reincorporation. Mysterio's theme, changing from heroic to villainous with one change in the key signature. It's awesome. Be prepared to go through troubleshooting to get Republic Commando running. Yeah, I've heard that, I think it was in the Mandalore review, that it's just not, there's issues with the PC port. Could get it on Switch though. It's out on Switch, I think. That might be the way to play it. KI is a fighting game. Juggernaut game is almost 10 years old, and every time there's a tournament, tens of thousands of people watch it. Yeah, it's small, but for a 10-year-old fighting game, that's impressive. I guess that's what makes me wonder why they wouldn't just, like, invest in getting a brand new... That'd be a good idea. Just make a new Killer Instinct game or something. I mean, it feels like it would be a good idea for Microsoft, because at that point, the diversity of their lineup compared to Sony is, like, without question. Like, without question at that point, they've just got... Well, I mean, it's already at that point that they have a more diverse lineup anyway, but it would be beyond question if they had basically a game from every genre, which they are getting close to having. I guess that's something we might hear about at E3, right? Perfect Dark. Maybe we'll see that. The new Fable, or... Yeah, I don't know. Bethesda's got to have something, right? Like Elder Scrolls or Starfield or whatever. And now they got Microsoft money as well. And Microsoft quality standards, too. So maybe they'll release games that aren't broken. I think a No Way Home trailer might be out soon. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I think they want a new KI, but getting a studio to do it would be really hard. Well, I mean... Yeah, I guess there's that. But it's probably worth the investment. You could have a big fighting game franchise on your hands. And, like, you know, I hear that Killer Instinct game was cool, but, like, that it was, you know... You could tell that it wasn't, like, full-on AAA kind of thing, which they might be a good idea to do. Sorry, I was getting distracted by the skybox. I was sitting there like, this is on the Halo ring, right? And it's like, yeah. Yep, it is. Of course it is. This is Forerunner stuff. Yeah, sit down, punk. I didn't do that well, so I have no reason to brag. That guy at the top, he carried the team. Would you consider doing the campaign of OG Battlefront 2? Don't know if this is a hot take, but the classes in Classic Battlefront are borked. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't mind doing that. I'm sure that game has balancing issues. It's old. It's old, you know, probably has issues. Now, I'll wrap up shortly, because I want to rest my vocals before I do some recording for the video, so... Now's the time to get your questions in. Bit of a short one, but, yeah, I want to rest my voice so that I can be ready to record later. Are you recording the endgame video already? No, it's the other one. The microtransactions one. Endgame video is still really far away. Sorry. Working on it. What's a better show, Buffy or Angel? Well, I feel like it's not that it's a full package, but the one that I prefer is Angel. That's my favorite of the two. how often do you still play single player games? Well, I was saying earlier, I've been playing this little detective point and click called Backbone. That's been fun. What are your example games for microtransactions? Oh, well, you'll see in the video. I've already said too much. Like, we talked about a lot of the topics that are covered, but obviously it will be more eloquently put. Who's worse, Captain Marvel or Batwoman? Oh, Batwoman's worse than Captain Marvel. Like, in terms of the characters. Like, at least Captain Marvel tries to do good things. Batwoman doesn't. Check out some other tracks from Black Ops Cold War? Yeah, sure. I'll think about it. Mentioned it earlier, but I gotta admit, strongly disagree with the take. Cap was wrong to blow up the helicarrier. Surely, if he didn't, Hydrocrew and Broad would clock on and attempt to switch the chips back. So, Fury explicitly says that he believes that by putting in the chips, they'll be able to bring them down and salvage those helicarriers. So either Fury is an idiot, or he was correct, and they could have brought them down safely. He could have crashed those helicarriers into heavily populated areas. Rounds could have missed. It's insane. Cap was assassinated. And that's in combination with a bunch of other stuff that was happening too. I hope the next Elder Scrolls game is at High Rock again. I hope that wherever they go, they keep it like the cool and weird way they describe the provinces in the older games instead of the more Lord of the Ring fantasy look. Well, I guess we have no idea what that game's going to be like. Weird question. What do you think about the elites from Halo? I think they're cool in their design and lore. Yeah, the elites are awesome. I think they've got a great design. And yeah, cool background. Captain Marvel has superpowers, though, and she bullies squishy humans. Yeah, sure, but I mean, she at least tries to save the planet. And that was a deleted scene, so I don't know how legitimately I want to treat it. Even though they did film it, which was embarrassing, but it's not part of the movie. It's not part of the movie, technically. I remember you saying you couldn't get into the fighting games. What do you think is a wall for you on the genre? It's too technical for me, I think. And also, it's just not really... it is too... Nah, I don't want to say that. It's just not for me. It's not really for me. I like Mortal Kombat. I like Smash. That's about it. It's not really something I see myself getting into. Yeah, to pick, would you have a Bloodborne 2 or a Dark Souls 4? Bloodborne 2. Cool world. I want to see more of it. Captain Marvel blew up ships full of innocent Skrulls. Well, remember, she didn't know that they were bad guys yet because she was indoctrinated, so I'm not sure how morally accountable she is for that. The worst part is she's screaming woohoo as she's killing people who used to be her friends. That's really weird. The trailer made it look like it would be in High Rock, though it could be Hammerfall, maybe. Yeah, don't know. Do you see the new Elite armors being added to the next MCC season? I didn't, but I'll keep an eye out for those. Because if they've got Elite skins, I might play as an Elite. Like, because right now there is no customization, so it doesn't really feel like there's much of a reason to. Deleted scene. I think you mean the cover-up for a heinous crimes. Will you be watching Loki around the time of release? Yeah, I think that's out in like 8 hours. I'll be watching that. Probably when it comes out. Boot up ye old Disney Plus, take a look. Elden Ring is basically a myth at this point. I think there was a leaked trailer, and I'm sure we'll be hearing about it this year at E3, surely. Captain Marvel hurt the Don and robbed him. There's no saving her tormented soul. Yeah, Loki's gonna ruin your script. You know, yeah. So that's kind of that's I think that's the reality of it with the Endgame video is I need Loki. I don't need the show, but I need to reference it because it'll get brought up and it might actually. Fuck, that's gonna, yeah, it's gonna throw a wrench into the script for sure. I can focus on the character stuff and all that, that's totally fine, but like, time travel is a pretty huge component of that video, so yeah, I kind of need to wait for Loki, which is a problem because that's 6 weeks, so that's like another month delay on just scripting. Unless, yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that. Just way more work for me to do. Yeah. Because it'll be July before I can finish that script now, probably. And then, you know, however long it takes to edit, which is going to be a big one. Doesn't blowing up the whole ships without knowing their intent still make it immoral? Well, I can't remember. Fuck, I can't even remember what happened in Captain Marvel that was what they were talking about. Her belief was that they're enemies, from what I remember. She believes that they're the bad guys. I guess there was a question of they probably should have held her to account more for what she did, for just blindly believing in what she was told, but I don't know. I can't remember what happened in that movie. Not super well. It's going to make the time travel worse? I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will make things way worse. It'll give us answers on things, though, for sure. Like, it can't fix Endgame. That's the important part. You can't fix Endgame. It contradicts itself. It has different rules. It goes from immutable time travel to alternate reality time travel. Yeah, it can't work. How do you like watching all your favorite franchises burn fringy? Yeah, it's great. Did you see Luke from Batwoman? It's pretty neato. I did see that. It's gonna be cool, like, kind of, because, like, Luke is one of the better characters in that show. I mean, he's the second best behind Jacob. I wish I hadn't had it spoiled for me, though. But then Black Widow. Black Widow looks like a mixed bag from the trailers. Yeah, I'm not optimistic about it. I'm just, yeah, not looking forward to that one. I'm just not looking forward to the MCU in general. A lot of stuff that's just not good. Why are you talking about Captain Marvel? Marvel's The Marvels is coming out. I don't... Marvel Studios is The Marvels. Excited for Eternals? Nope. I'm not excited for anything, except maybe Suicide Squad. Eternals is going to be a world-building disaster. I'm sure of that. I'm sure it's going to be catastrophic for the world-building, and they don't care because we just want to tell our little individual stories. We ever clock out of the MCU? I mean, I'm already kind of am. Like, I'm there for Spider-Man, and there are some characters I like, but otherwise I'm not really... Yeah. Have you watched the New Mutants? I just did. Not good. Better than Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. Oh boy. I haven't seen it. You exist in a timeline where the only thing you're excited for is a sequel to Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's unreal. But it's just because it's the creator, James Gunn. It's kind of the same with, like, Thor 4, right? I'm kind of looking forward to that just because Taika Waititi. Spider-Man No Way Home is kind of John Watts, which is super hot take, but the problem is I'm super concerned about No Way Home. It could be a disaster. It could be an unmitigated disaster given how much they need to handle, but I don't know. We'll see. These rumors are insane. So am I, but it's the only thing I'm remotely interested in. Yeah, it's basically the same as me. I just like MCU Spider-Man. That's all I'm really there for. Please no multiverse. It seems like the multiverse is all but certain that is part of this movie. I know a lot of the rumors are probably bullshit, but it seems like it's just the multiverse thing is absolutely going to be the case. Because we know that Doctor Strange is in it, and we know that it links to Multiverse of Madness. That Wanda is, like, opening up multiverse portals or something. She's screwing everything up. Yeah, Loki already confirmed a multiverse. I know that, but... yeah. Pretty sure MCU Spider-Man has the best Spider-Man. Yeah, I think so. I think that Tom Holland Spider-Man is the best one on screen that we've had. Any recommendations for mystery films like Knives Out but actually good? LA Confidential? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that counts as a mystery movie. Endgame confirmed multiverse even. Yeah, but they're playing really loose with the idea of multiverse. I prefer Futurama's version of the multiverse. There are only 2 universes, and in the other one they wear cowboy hats. Yeah, I remember that joke. Just traveling to the edge of the universe, and you look across and see like Fry waving. Spider-Verse is also pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that Miles Morales is second best. I think it's just he hasn't had as much time. So, like, what he had in his movie was excellent, but it's just not as much content as we've had overall for Holland Spider-Man. Warner Brothers execs say the Batman is terrible. Thoughts? I've heard that that's not the case at all, and that they're actually extremely happy with that film. So, it just sounds like, I don't know, rumors. Hot take, Futurama's better than The Simpsons. I don't know if I can get on board with that, but, like, Futurama's really great. But peak Simpsons was something else. I guess if you took it as a whole, but even if you took it as a whole, the amount of seasons of The Simpsons that were excellent is the same number of seasons of Futurama, so... Isn't the screenwriter of 84, Wonder Woman 84 for Spider-Verse? Yup. On the Batman, another one I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that one too. I'm looking forward to that one. It looks cool from that trailer. Stacked cast. Interested in seeing what Andy Serkis is gonna do as Alfred. Seems cool, new, different. I think Futurama's better than The Simpsons. Is that a hot take? I think it depends on what we're talking about, because Simpsons, when it was at its peak, is like one of the best shows ever made. CGI Alfred? No such thing this time around. He's been busy. He's doing that, and he directed Venom 2. Have you seen the set photos for Indy 5? I haven't, but I guess I'll look at them after I'm done. Have you watched Gravity Falls? I watched a few episodes and then I stopped because I wasn't really enjoying it that much. I hear it's really good, but... maybe I'll give it another shot eventually. For me, the best part of Futurama is always Zoidberg. Yeah. Zoidberg was great. Harrison Ford doesn't look like he wants to be there, but he's the one who wants to keep doing Indiana Jones movies. He didn't want to do Star Wars, but he wants to keep doing Indiana Jones, or at least that's what he says. So yeah, I don't know. He's getting old now. Like, he's been doing this for a long time. How old is he now? Is he like, he's in his 70s for sure, right? Christ, he's 78. God, he's almost 80 and he's still doing Indiana Jones. Jeez. Hey, look, maybe it'll be good. Who knows? I mean, it probably won't be, but, you know. Anyway, on that uplifting note, thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for the subs. Just for sticking around. It's much appreciated. New video coming soon. New pages of the comic coming on Fridays, I believe. My Fridays. Your Thursdays for most of you. Keep an eye out on the Twitters. Keep an eye out on the YouTubes. Lots of stuff coming up. Yeah, it's been fun, everybody. Catch you later.